Yeah, I would say, risk adjusted ultimately, from the trend. Naturally, market neutral has been the largest allocation that we see from family offices. But that said, it's a full spectrum, from pre-seed, seed, we look at extensively, and are allocating. I think crypto still presents the best asymmetric bets. I think if we look at some of the other sectors, AI, private credit as an example, valuation is a big factor here, and liquidity. And I think what you can still get from the crypto markets, again through various different types of expression, is liquidity with that asymmetric upside. And that is very powerful, and particularly when liquidity, I would say right now it's a premium. We have obviously a lot of geopolitical things going on in the world, and having liquidity, being able to move quickly and realize some of those investments is, I think, very powerful.
All right, everybody, what is going on? Welcome back to another Wealth 28 Club podcast. I thought that I'd start today's episode off with that little tiny clip from the Digital Assets Forum Summit that took place just a couple of weeks ago. Considering the risk-off backdrop that we've all experienced over the past couple of months, since October of last year, the market shedding over $2 trillion in value. Here you have a gentleman from a digital asset investment firm that manages billions of dollars go on to mention that he still believes that crypto still presents the best asymmetric opportunity. But yeah, let's jump into some of the fundamental pieces that I have today. I want to kind of touch on a post that I put, and something that I think you're going to really like that I share with you about the number 33 and how it correlates to Canton's ticker symbol. So I'll start off the podcast here because I have so many people message me and comment and say, oh, you've only covered Canton lately. You don't really talk about XRP anymore, this and that. So I thought I'd kind of really try to explain for you all why, and why as an XRP holder after 10 years, I started to really heavily pay attention to Canton. Now, this isn't the only reason, but just something that the XRP army and the XRP community can relate to, right? Coming directly from Ripple themselves. So I said here in this post, let me zoom in a little bit. I said, as an XRP holder for 10 years, I pay attention to infrastructure. So why do I hold both Canton and XRP? Many have asked. Pay very close attention. In April 2025, Ripple acquires Hidden Road, now obviously, of course, rebranded to Ripple Prime. In August 2025, Hidden Road participates in a live on-chain US Treasury financing transaction on the Canton network. And anybody can go and look this up. Here is that fundamental piece here, August 12th, 2025. More specifically, outside of just the Canton's website, you can even go look at this posted directly from TradeWeb. It says, Digital Asset in collaboration with a consortium of leading financial institutions today announced the successful completion of a groundbreaking transaction on the Canton network, marking a first enabling real-time, fully on-chain financing of U.S. Treasuries against USDC. Members of the working group focused on advancing on-chain initiatives included Hidden Road. The milestone marks a foundational step towards building capital markets where high-quality liquid assets such as U.S. Treasuries are available and usable on and at all times. Always on and usable at all times, regardless of traditional market hours or legacy settlement constraints. By unlocking real-time financing and 24/7 collateral mobility, it enhances utility and drives the evolution of markets towards greater efficiency and accessibility. In addition, it will combine the strengths of traditional and crypto markets, preparing institutional trust and scale with the flexibility and programmability of DeFi. The Canton Network's global collateral network will provide the foundation for this unified market structure, enabling seamless movement of real-world assets across a new global digital financial system. And so it says here, Hidden Road used USDC, and it was minted and redeemed on the Canton network specifically to demonstrate this use case while supporting near instant liquidity and atomic settlement. So back to my post, August 2025, Hidden Road participated in live on-chain US Treasury financing transactions on Canton network. That means a Ripple-owned prime broker used Canton Network rails for institutional collateral movement. If you fast forward to early 2026, Ripple Prime became an early adopter of BNY's global tokenized deposit services. And you can see that down here in the screenshots. Noel Kimmel, president of Ripple Prime, said, as more traditional financial institutions move into digital native services in 2026, BNY is staying ahead of the curve, bringing digital assets directly into the banking system. We're proud to expand our long-standing strategic collaboration and now as an early adopter of BNY's tokenized deposit services through its digital asset platform, cash flow management, and liquidity optimization, right? So BNY and their tokenization solution, we know, connects to Goldman Sachs GSDAP, right? You can see that right here. It says, BNY will employ blockchain technology developed by Goldman Sachs to maintain a record of customer ownership of select money market funds. This combined solution marks the first time in the US that the fund managers have enabled subscription for shares of their money market funds via BNY's Liquidity Direct and digital asset platform, the corresponding value of which will be represented through the tokenization utilizing GSDAP. BNY's digital asset platform mirrors tokens of the money market fund shares created utilizing GSDAP. And we know GSDAP runs natively on the Canton network. So now we have two separate instances, Hidden Road, then now rebranded to Ripple Prime, we know is owned by Ripple, using Canton infrastructure for institutional repo, and Ripple Prime using BNY's tokenized deposits powered by GSDAP, which also runs on Canton. So as an XRP holder, I cannot ignore that Ripple has now interacted with Canton infrastructure more than once. Once would be a coincidence, but twice, that is purpose-driven and intentional. Now, this doesn't mean that Ripple is abandoning the XRP ledger. It just simply means that institutional finance is becoming interoperable. It means Ripple is ready to operate in a multi-chain world, and it tells me that the biggest players are quietly aligning infrastructure behind the scenes. When Wall Street builds, I personally watch where they build, and Ripple with Canton underneath keeps showing up. So, in a nutshell, that is why I'm paying attention to both Canton and XRP. So, I hope you guys enjoyed that post today, breaking that down for you guys, showing you guys how Ripple indirectly has used Canton's infrastructure twice now, right? And nobody's going to touch on this, nobody's going to cover this or break it down, but the devil's in the details. And if you just read into the fundamentals and look at who participated in these things, it's clear as day that Ripple owned organizations and companies have used Canton Network, which is insane, right? It's like indirect confirmation almost. Ripple confirming that Canton's technology works. Why else would they use it?
Yeah, that's straight facts, bro. Straight facts.
So that was interesting to see, right? Just an interesting post that I put out this rising. Coming over here to the most recent development from the CFTC involving both Ripple and, again, indirectly, Canton Network and digital asset. So I've seen a lot of people posting about this, mentioning that Brad Garlinghouse got picked for the CFTC Commodity Futures Trading Commission, announced the members of the Innovation Advisory Committee, and that is true, right? So it says, today marks an important, energizing moment at the CFTC as the Innovation Advisory Committee takes shape. Chairman Michael Salige said the IAC's work will help ensure the CFTC's decision reflect market realities so the agency can future-proof its markets and develop clear rules of the road for the golden age of American financial markets. And then it has this long list of all the people chosen for this IAC. You got Uniswap Labs, Coinbase now, a Canton validator, Operations Clearing Corporation, Rothara Markets, Polymarket representative. It goes on, right? And you got, obviously, of course, Adina Friedman, CEO of NASDAQ. We know NASDAQ, Canton validator. Brad Garlinghouse, CEO of Ripple. And remember how I told you guys just in the previous post, it's always Ripple, and then underlying, you can see Canton right underneath. You got the Depository Trust Clearing Corporation, We obviously, of course, know the announcement in December 2025 with Canton and the DTCC. Crypto.com, Canton Validator, right? Anchorage, Grayscale, Chainlink Labs, Canton Validator, and obviously, of course, Canton Partner. ISDA, same thing, has participated in Canton Network pilots. We have LSEG, same thing, Canton Network Partner pilots. Blockchain.com, Frameworks Ventures, and it goes on. But what I want you guys to pay very close attention to down here is something that Aqua has highlighted multiple times before. And I don't think that this is by accident, because think about it. If Aqua, you want to share your screen on that one post that you made about the Canton ticker symbol equating to the number 33, I want to bring that up real quick.
Yeah, let me find it real quick here. Hold on, give me a second.
So while Aqua is bringing that up to the stage, okay, I'm going to play a video clip, because look at who's on this list from the CFTC. And this gentleman, CEO of DRW, Don Wilson, and his number just so happens to be the number 33. Okay. They could have, now this list is not in alphabetical order, mind you. Okay. This list is completely randomized. They could have put this man's number in any order. They could have put him number 1, 27, 35, any number. They put him at number 33. Okay. And Aqua has pointed out that the ticker symbol for Canton coin equates to the number 33. C being the third letter in the alphabet, CC equals 33, right? While you're looking for that, I want to come over here and why this is so important. Okay, this gentleman, Don Wilson, being on the CFTC, Commodity Futures Trading Commission, IAC committee, is not only that his number, like coincidentally, right, because we're on the theory of coincidences on today's episode, is the number 33. Oh, here it goes. Let me bring this up the stage real quick before I play the video. Okay, so what did Aqua say here? CC equals the number 33. When was this? This was January, what, 28th? That you posted this? I can't see. It's kind of small.
January 28th. Yeah, January 28th.
January 28th that you posted this, right? So I just don't find it that it's coincidental at all. And then this dude, Don Wilson, CEO, DRW, number 33, okay? And if we go back to a podcast that he was on 2 weeks ago with ARK Invest, titled Tokenization of U.S. Treasuries with Don Wilson, listen to what he says about Canton Network.
Clear as you talk. But what's interesting is that DTCC, as I understand it, is not only using Canton, it has joined the Canton Foundation as co-chair with Euroclear. So that seems like a big deal.
That is a big deal. Yes. I mean, it's not hard to read the tea leaves there.
Yeah.
That DTCC sees this as a very important chain, and one that they want to really lean in on.
Right. And it seems like DTCC believes that that Canton could become the default institutional RWA, real world asset network. Is that what we can glean from this?
I mean, that's my interpretation of it. And by the way, it's also, what I believe. I think that Canton is best positioned to achieve that.
I think that Canton Network is best positioned to be the underlying infrastructure and foundational technology structure for real-world asset tokenization. And Don Wilson is the gentleman that said that. He's the gentleman that got picked by the CFTC, and is just coincidentally, his number for the CFTC right here is 33, which equals Canton coin. Like,
yeah, bro, not a coincidence in my opinion. So
I personally don't believe in coincidences. I'm not really into the whole like numerology, price prediction, bullcrap stuff, but I just, it's to the point now where the devil's in the details. You just can't make this stuff up.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, yeah, the number 33 goes back. So for it to be embedded into this new system, I can definitely see that ticker, top 5, just because of that. And yeah, we won't dive down that rabbit hole, but I'm definitely into all that numerology set, not the price prediction side of it, but yeah, definitely I dive into it, and a lot of it will blow your mind. So
I just think the way that I see it is they could have picked him as any number.
yeah,
You know,
100.
why
Yeah.
why 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 did they pick him at 33? You know,
Yeah.
so very interesting.